Greetings from above NV. This is another video documentary in the What We Do series. Today we're talking about 2D and 3D aerial mapping. It's a pretty big subject, so we picked a pretty big job to demonstrate the variety of products and services we provide. Big Springs Mine was an active mine in the 80s through 2012 when an aquifer was pierced, causing environmental damage. The area has been improved, and Innova Mining has resumed exploration drilling to evaluate further mining opportunities. They asked us to create a digital elevation model for the property. There's been historic drilling records, but as far as what's on the ground, it's all kind of new stuff for them. In a preliminary flyover, we can see that the property is relatively small, but has a great deal of topographical changes and mixed strata. The walls of the pits are really interesting. You can see the ore bodies driving straight through from one side of the mountain to the other. However, as the mine has been closed for several years, climbing around on that stuff would be extremely dangerous. Though there's a lot of data available from historic drilling records, an up-close view would certainly help the geologist evaluate the property, and the slope stability analysis is needed for the mining engineers. Our objective is to get a high-resolution mosaic in both 2D and 3D for the pit wall, so that the customer could take a good close-up look at the details. The area is extremely dangerous. We are not allowed to stand anywhere near the pit and obviously stay out of the water. To make a 3D mosaic, it's like making a really big picture that allows for zooming in on individual rocks. We took several hundred pictures and used the photo mosaicing software to put them all together. This is kind of like making one big panorama picture. The resulting picture is over 250 megabytes, but we can pan around within the picture and take a look at all the details. This will allow the geologist to characterize the different strata and identify and grade the ore bodies within. This whole mountain's like a big layered cake that's been tipped on its side and a chunk taken out of the side. You can see all the different layers side to side. This top-down mosaic results in a two-dimensional map, which also allows for high-resolution mapping and measuring. This can be converted into a colorized elevation map to measure each shelf on the wall and down into the pit. Combining all these renderings and adding the GPS information provided in each picture, we can create a full three-dimensional object view of the pit. This allows for measuring things like the width of the shelf, the amount of gravel on each shelf, and if we wanted to, the volume of water in the pit itself. Let's get back to the bigger job and the real reason we came out here. The entire area needs a digital elevation map. In order to tie the elevation map to a known grid or datum, we need to nail it down to about 20 surveyed points spread out evenly across the entire property. Getting to all these points to lay down targets that a drone can see is step one. Step two is waiting for the GPS to collect 20 to 30 minutes worth of readings to average. Then we can get correction information from the internet a few days later when we post-process. If the targets are down and the GPS is busy collecting data, we could fly over small sections of the property, then move to another and continue. So you're going to see my little truck all over the raw map. All total, we flew the site collecting downward-facing pictures from a consistent 400 feet, collecting over 6,000 pictures over the 1.5 square mile area. It's no easy task given all the topography, the wind, and sometimes even snow. We use automated software which takes topography into account and pre-program the drones to do the missions with enough overlap between pictures to have each point appear 15 to 20 times. We estimate that the drones flew a total of 150 miles in order to map the area at 4 centimeters per pixel resolution. Once done flying, we returned to the office, culled the data down to 4,500 individual pictures. Each one is a blue frame here, and each of the flags is a surveyed GPS point. We had to make sure that the entire property was covered, and the initial results looked great. It took several days for our computers to create what we call a dense point cloud. It consists of over 3.8 million tie points and over 290 million ground points. Yeah, our computers are pretty tough. This point cloud has a resolution of 4 centimeters per pixel and an overall accuracy of 6 centimeters, which is way beyond the customer's expectations. But hey, if you're going to do a job, why not do it right? Here's that original pit that we were looking at earlier. And as we spin up, you can see some of the other pits that are around behind it. Remember I said we'd see the truck a few times? Well, check this out. There's one truck, two trucks, three trucks. The next job is to remove the trucks and to remove all the foliage and vegetation. Once that stuff is removed, we can create a digital elevation map with contour lines at 1 meter. We basically created a super accurate topo map for the entire property. Here's a colorized version that doesn't help the human eye as much as demonstrating the gradient changes our software will recognize when we go back after significant changes to the property. Looking back on the project, this took us 2 days of driving, 2 days of flying, and about a week of software work. The level of detail for these kind of deliverables is unprecedented in survey technology, and using that old technology to even try to get this close would cost at least 10 times the price. That said, we also had a total blast doing the project and want to thank Innova Mining for allowing to use their footage to show people what drone collected data can be used for in a mining and mapping project. We hope this video will be informative to our customers and our students and to the UAV community. Thanks for watching. My name's Kirk and I'm with Above NV. Give me a call. Let's see how drone collected data can improve your business.